Hey there, it's Elizabeth, and welcome back to another video. So this, by the title you see, is going to be a Throwback Thursday. And what I'm going to do is, you're looking at my current journal right now, and you're thinking, Elizabeth, this is not throwback to anything, right? Well, these days I journal with a lot of tucks, tags, and pockets. I enjoy it. It just brings out so much creativity for me, and I love journaling this way. But when I first started journaling way back in 2015, I started with a Fobonichi. Sorry for the glare. And this is my Fobonichi from March and April of 2015. And a Fobonichi is just a DIY Hobonichi. A Hobonichi is a brand name of a Japanese planner. And so the Fobonichi is just one that you make yourself. And what I did was I just repurposed a composition notebook, and I used to glue 3 pages together. I used to washi down the sides, and it was a lot more flat journaling. So the books, they got a little chunky, but they weren't super duper fat like my current journals are now. But I just thought it would be fun to go back through and let's just see what was going on in March of 2015, 5 years ago. My goodness, it seems like forever ago, but it really wasn't all that long ago. And so see what I mean? This is typical of a Hobonichi, right? It has the header at the top with the date and the month and the day of the week and the weather or the moon phase. And then a lot of times, well, all the time, a Hobonichi, a true Hobonichi, has like a footer also, but I didn't do that. But back in the day when I first started, I used, and this is a gridded notebook. I used to enjoy gridded notebooks. And like I said earlier, I glued 3 pages together, so it would really make the pages more like cardstock. So I could paint on them. I could, use a Sharpie marker. I could do whatever I wanted to. Now at the beginning, like, I didn't have like favorite pens like I do now, or just favorite tools that that one likes to use in their books, right? But I used magazine clippings a lot. I used a whole ton of clip art. That was how I got my pictures, because I wasn't really inclined to draw anything. So like on a day like today, when I went to the doctor, I wasn't gonna sit in here and draw a stethoscope. It was just as easy to go and find a clip art and clip it out and then color it in whatever. The backgrounds I used to use were just colored pencils, and I would color in the background afterwards, I do believe. Yeah, I would write everything out and then I would color the backgrounds in. So there's that. Oh my goodness. Okay, let's see here. Okay, here is my messy desk. This is in my old craft room. Oh my goodness, yeah, okay, I was home all alone, so everybody must have been somewhere. I'm not gonna read through all of these, we'll just briefly go through this. Received my Poscas, okay, I wonder, this is probably my first set of Poscas. And I don't know what color that is, but it looks like brown maybe? I don't know, but yeah. Oh my gosh, isn't that funny? Okay, so finally finished my March, April Fobonichi cover. We're in March 4th here. Oh my gosh, so I was even behind back then. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that was fun. We were watching House of Cards on Netflix. Excuse me. Okay, here I had some playtime. Oh, okay, see, back here, I was still teaching at the homeschool co-op. So I was teaching a writing class, and we were doing an autobiography, and it was super fun. It was a really fun assignment. I think I should tell my daughter that she should try to do something like that in her class. Yeah, it was a lot of fun, but it was a lot of work because our co-op classes, they lasted 12 weeks. And we only went 1 day a week, so it was literally like, and I think my class was an hour and a half. I think my class was an hour and a half long. So yeah, it was like however, do the math, however many hours. But so this was winding down. I had 4 weeks to go. I had 22 students and 6 assignments per student to grade. Okay. Because like when I taught the autobiography class, they had like, I think about 3 to 5 writing assignments per week. Yeah, that's fun. See, I did do a little bit of drawing. This is our old boat that sank. Oh my gosh. Yeah. So yeah, it was so fun teaching that class. So fun. I used to do a little bit, very little bit of drawing. I think my son, well, of course, 5 years ago, both my kids were living with me then, but we went down south, I guess, let's see, Thursday, Friday, yeah. See, that's why it's so important to put your dates and to also put the day of the week, right? Because I know back then, even 5 years ago, every Friday we were going down south after my husband got off work and we got back from class. So that afternoon we took a boat ride and we went to eat dinner. Fun. The next day we went out and had breakfast at Keys Bite, and then there used to be a flea market. See, it's no longer there. So another reason to journal and write about things that are going on, because this flea market is gone. And now there's a McDonald's in its place, I think. Yeah, so that's interesting. We used to get our Amish meat and cheese there. They don't have that anymore. Can't find it anywhere. I remember my husband, I drew this out, and it's a drawing of an art piece that my husband bought from a local artist who had carved it out of wood and painted it, and it's in our kitchen down south. I remember when my husband was in search of a 6-seater golf cart. Oh my goodness. This was just not much happened on this day. This here, I remember this. We used to do like in our journaling group, in a journaling group that I used to be more active in. They used to have prompts for the alphabet, right? And I mean, obviously, I didn't do all of them. But I did do some of them. Yeah. Oh, and look at this. Love to hear my sunshine sing this. Oh my gosh. And to this day, I mean, y'all know he sings. He sings all the time. More clip art, more magazine clippings, right? And then I look at this handwriting here, and it's interesting to me because it's terrible. Yeah. My hands, as most of you know if you follow along with me, my hands are very shaky, and back here, health-wise, I was worse off than I am today. So I can definitely tell I must have been having a rough day that day. Oh, I remember this too. I made a pen holder out of they were like mailing boxes, old mailing boxes that I had. So I taped them all together, and yeah, I still have it. I still have it to this day. Cleaned my room that day, papers everywhere. Oh my goodness. I had well over 1,000 papers strewn all over my living room floor this day, making sure all of my students in my homeschooling class had all the assignments completed for each autobiography, because I was going to be taking them in and getting them professionally bound. And each book contained 40 to 50 pages. It was a really great class. And I only had 2 more weeks to go. It was super fun. So again, this was a Friday. I know that because we went out to lunch or dinner at Skipper's Dockside, which is a place down south. I wrote this poem about letting the stress go as we're driving down. I see my writing is terrible. So yeah. Here is a picture of my daughter and me out on our canoe in the little cay that we live by, right? And then I took this picture right here and drew a picture of it. And I think I used ink tints back here to color this in. And then I was sitting downstairs in the patio, and we have like on one of our posts down there, we have this really huge, I mean, it's probably 4 feet tall, I guess, huge, heavy wood carving of a mermaid. And so I just sat down there and drew her one day. That was fun. This I found on like Pinterest or something. Again, gnarly handwriting. My hands were just terrible back then. Terrible. So I had a sucky day back then. Oh, it was probably because we kayaked, and when I'm out in the sun a lot and stuff, it does not bode well for me. But, and let's see, did I have a bed day? Okay, so I did this while I was in bed. Yeah. And this too, this was a bed day as well because I remember doing these. This is just Sharpie marker on book text, and I would just write words in my own handwriting, and I ended up sending a lot of these out in Happy Mail at some point. This is fun. Today is MIA, missing in action. I just didn't have notes that day. And see, again, back in 2015, interestingly enough, I didn't have a smartphone, you know. None of us had smartphones. Maybe my husband did for work, but none of us had smartphones. So I would take all my notes and put them on sticky notes and put them in my book. And this day I had no sticky notes. And then this day, oh my gosh, remember the big, huge thing back in 2015? Everybody was doing pocket letters, right? Everybody was going and getting these plastic baseball sleeves and doing pocket letters. And I had sent my first pocket letter to my pen pal in Scotland. Sadly enough, we're no longer in touch. That really stinks. And then I went to Office Max to get all the books bound to start the bookbinding process. At this point, we were watching Hawaii Five-0. Week from Hell. Oh my goodness. So Big Handsome wasn't feeling well back then. I wasn't feeling well. The house was a disaster. Oh my gosh. Oh, I don't want to go to Minnesota. Yeah, so back at this time, my husband, this was like the beginning of my husband's journey in his health saga. Oh my goodness. Yeah, so here's another little painting I did with Inktense, drawing and painting. And we went out to have, we had an afternoon boat ride, again, Friday. So yeah, we went to this restaurant right on the water, and yeah, that was fun. That was fun. We used to do that all the time. We rarely do it anymore. That's a shame. On this day here, we all went out to the beach on our boat and anchored and had a nice lunch together. Yeah, I love going over to the beach. Haven't done that in a long while. This was our group that I used to, well, I'm still a part of it, but we don't do prompts anymore. But they used to have prompts. So, you know, we used to do those. Excuse me. Creative writing class coming to a close. Oh my goodness, yeah. 22 kids times 50 pages per book. Yikes. We had tacos, yummy. We were watching Hawaii Five-0. Oh my goodness. Doctor's appointments. This is my attempt at humor because I guess I had dual appointments. I don't know why. These are just, I love books. That's what I decided to do on this day. It really has nothing about what was going on, but this I drew. I was probably looking up at my bookshelf and just drew the bookshelf and put all of the different, you know, authors' names. My take on exercise. These are a bunch of these funny little memes that I would print out and put in. Rolling on the floor laughing is about the only exercise I get. Yeah, and I used to enjoy running 5 miles a day and cycling about 40 miles a week. Yeah. Don't do that anymore. I have started walking again, though. And these are a bunch of, like, thank you cards from my students because we had our homeschooling co-op was officially over for the year. Yeah. And I received some sweet little presents from students, parents. That was nice. At this point in time, Big Handsome was trying to quit smoking. Went to Hobby Lobby. This was like the first time I think I'd ever gone to Hobby Lobby where we live, honestly. And I did not like it. I did not like it at all. Went for a late lunch at Longhorn. It's all just a big blur. So migraines, even back then. Migraines. And then this is the end of March. Oh my gosh, this is so funny. So I had made a journal, a junk journal, and it was probably like one of the first ones I ever made, maybe. No, probably not the first one. but I decided to work on one and it was more of a vintage style. And I actually gave it to one of my girlfriends at our homeschooling co-op. And then when she saw it, she asked me if I would make a junk journal for her sister who has lupus. And so, yeah, I use this, what is this? Teasdale or Tinsdale, or I forget what paper this is, but it's so beautiful and has butterflies in it and stuff. So I just thought it would be nice. And I use black accents, and these little note cards come from Postcards from God, and I put those in there for her. Yeah, that was a lot of fun. And then here starts my April portion. So, oh my goodness, yeah, let me know if you like that. That was fun going through that book, seeing how I used to journal as opposed to how I journal now. Yeah, that was a lot of fun. It's just a quick flip, you know. I didn't go through like every little detail, but it was fun to see all those things and see the things that we used to do as opposed to what we do now and all of that. So I hope you enjoyed that. Thank you for sharing your time with me, and have a great rest of your day and a wonderful week. And I'll talk at y'all real soon. Bye for now.